This is breaking news from ThailandTV.news. Now all the Thailand news is in one place. The latest reports from around the clock and around the world. Breaking Thailand news from all the world's top news sources, translated into 11 languages and updated 24 hours a day. Here's Ali with more.
ThailandTV.news has it all. The latest news, weather and sports updates, plus up-to-the-minute events listings and fun things to do in Thailand. And that's not all. There's also entertainment, lifestyle and travel news, including the latest visa information. If it's happening in Thailand, you'll find it here at ThailandTV.news.
It's all here at ThailandTV.news. All the latest news, weather, sports, they even cover ice hockey. It's all done at ThailandTV.news. Yes, it's all the Thailand news, all in one place.
This is Thailand's biggest night for hockey. This is Hockey Night in Thailand.
Welcome inside our pre-game coverage of the second game of our doubleheader, SIAM Mandalay and LEXICON Lumberjacks. And pre-game shot done. There we go. Now we're starting.
And we're underway.
Right.
That was easy.
It is the second game of our back-to-back doubleheader here on hockey's biggest night in Thailand. My name is Adam Gottschalk. Greg Beatty's alongside. Keith Mueller next to me. The 100 telecast complete. On to the next 100 here for the SIAM Hockey League. LEXICON Lumberjacks and SIAM Mandalay. And quickly as we start, we'll try and tell you about this one as we'll set this up for you as the game's actually in progress, because there's a lot to set up for you. There's a lot happening with the rosters of this matchup, which we'll get to in just a moment. First of all, LEXICON Lumberjacks trying to keep pace with the league's number one team, KCG, which won the first game today. LEXICON Lumberjacks 8-3-1, SIAM Mandalay 3-8-1. So we just got news that Roger Promtong also is a scratch today for LEXICON, which means, let me give you the list. The guys that are out from the team in blue: Adam Williams, Joe Seavey, Panhong Swati, Yari Irikainen, Justin Sandini, Korn Q Prasov, and Roger Promtong, all not in the lineup for LEXICON. We do have a bunch of guys to tell you about, but first of all, you can kind of semi-pay attention to the roster that you're seeing on the screen today from both sides. This is the SIAM Mandalay roster. They're mostly intact, although Sean Berg, wearing number 12, is a replacement in the lineup. We'll tell you more about that as this game unfolds. But first of all, Greg, goalie matchup. Ben Kleinische gets the start in net for LEXICON Lumberjacks.
Yep, and
Dream Uncle Patanasuk gets the start for SIAM Mandalay. Tell me about this one.
Well, both those guys are going to have to come out with big games tonight because of all the line juggling that's happening out there. The keys to the game, I think, are how both teams are going to be managing their line changes with all these subs, especially for LEXICON.
SIAM Mandalay is in white. That's CJ Gamble carrying the puck into the offensive zone. As you look at it on your TV screen, SIAM Mandalay here in the opening period moves from right to left. Lexicon Lumberjacks wearing the blue trimmed in yellow and black. They move from left to right. And forgive me, it's going to be a struggle as I try and get you the names and numbers of the guys for Lexicon today. That was Mu Tang Sakul. If that name sounds familiar, as Roger Promtong was a late scratch, at least on the roster card for Lexicon, Mu just switched jerseys and he stays on the ice. He played in the first game today. So you and I, Greg, are not the only ones doing double duty today. And Mu gets a start for his second consecutive game as well.
Well, it's a good thing we've got the coffee up here because we're going to need it.
Oh, well, we have plenty of coffee up here. That's thanks to our, let's say, the unseen member of our broadcast crew, Mr. Tim Horton. Kim Arola snaps a shot that's gloved down by Dream. That was probably going a few inches wide, but hard to say from up here. If you are just tuning in and you've never watched this before, it is 17-minute running clock periods here in the SHL. We're already 3.5 minutes gone by here in the first period, and SIAM Mandalay yet to register an official shot on goal, but tried to make an offensive charge. Instead, it's back, coming the other way for Lexicon Lumberjacks. And the opportunity there was John Shaknovsky, who got the pass collected from a guy who I'm going to bring up to you, Greg, as he just got another. This is the guy I was just about to reference who got that shot off. Ken Kinborn, one of the few that you see who's a regular contributor for Lexicon. Very important game from his side. But meanwhile, 2-on-1, Mike Friesen has it for SIAM Mandalay. His shot is saved by Kleinashe. Goes wide. Friesen. Today... sorry to interrupt you. Friesen, Bonazzo, and Stasny, the three big offensive guns for SIAM Mandalay, they are all here. And Tom Stasny just opens the scoring with a bullet from the high slot. And it's 1-0 SIAM Mandalay. Give Tom Stasny his 13th goal of the season. And with that, tell me about SIAM Mandalay.
Well, I think that's the guy we're going to have to watch out for is Thomas Stasny. And it's an auspicious day for him because he just opened up the Barn, which is his coffee and donut shop right outside the rink here.
It's kind of a cool atmosphere. If you've never come here, if you're watching this from overseas or you've never come here to actually watch a game or play in a game in person, you know, I was out there between games just sort of decompressing and getting my Tim Hortons. There's, you know, some people brought their dogs that are all outside sort of playing together. It's a bunch of kids running around and now with Tom Stasny's coffee and donut shop, you know, it's quite a fun sort of carnival atmosphere outside the ice rink here. Pretty fun to be a part of.
Yep, and he's got the cookies and the cakes as well.
Having a little chat between games with Roman Laren downstairs just about the baking prowess of Tom Stasny, the hidden talent of the famous Stasny family. 1-0 our score, SIAM Mandalay over Lexicon Lumberjacks. Ben Kleinashe will come way out of his goal crease to play it and nearly sprung a breakaway for his guys with a gorgeous clear. That was almost like a goal kick in soccer. Or football, as the non-Americans would call it. 1-0 our score, but Lexicon trying to get on the board here, and Kinborn has it deflected away and taken back. So I was starting to make the point about how important it is for the few guys who are normal contributors to Lexicon to have big games today. To me, that's Ken Kinborn and Kim Arola.
Yeah, and
Dennis Amelka.
And I liked watching Ken play because he's a rushing defenseman. He plays the defense very well, but he's also, you know, not afraid to skate up the ice with the puck and make the big plays. And he'll shoot when he wants to, and he'll make great passes when it's the right thing to do.
It's been a very up and down season for Lexicon. They started the year red hot. Were ice cold for a while. It was like a 4-game losing streak. They've been hot since. Today, probably their biggest test of the season, just in terms of how many key contributors they are without, especially on the blue line. A lot of their defensemen are not in the game today. That being said, the game still continues, and there's some talented players who we see in the lineup as replacements, including Mankorn Sukwibun, one of the league's most exciting offensive talents, who will wear number 10 in blue. Yin is also playing. He's in 71, so if you keep seeing that, it's a little confusing because you see the Justin Saint-Denis jersey on the ice, including Saint-Denis' name. He's out there right now, but that is Yin Tana Krokriat. I think I got that close to right.
He's easily recognizable because he's so big, but it can be confusing because, yes, it's not his name on the back of his jersey. It's Justin Saint-Denis.
6 shots, no goals for Lexicon in the early going. 3 shots and a goal for SIAM Mandalay. The goal was Tom Stasny's 13th this season. And with that, I know we're a little bit late, but we had a very, very truncated pregame show. So, Greg, keys to the game, one for either side. What would you say would be the most important thing for both teams to really try and focus on with this game?
Okay, both teams got to put traffic in front of the net, pick up rebounds, create screenshots, so putting people in front of the net, and just the opposite of that is clearing, for a defensive perspective, clearing those people out in front of the net.
If you're late joining us, the final score in the first game was 9-4. KCG got the win against Aware in a game that was a whole lot more exciting and more fun than that score might indicate. Something like, 77 combined shots officially when that game was over, and fairly evenly matched on both sides. Either way, in this one, I expect to see a game that has a bit more tension, although you really never know when you have a whole lot of guys who've never played on lines together before how it'll unfold. Kinborn waits for his guy to slide onside and fires a shot. Did that get in? I think it might have. Dream went down, but there's the buzzer, and I think we have a 1-1 hockey game. We got some high fives all around, and it was hard to see the puck actually cross the goal line from up here, but Ken Kinborn just potted his 8th goal of the year, 17th point for the Thai citizen, 27-year-old defenseman Ken Kinborn, offensive defenseman, fantastic all-around player, and one of the guys I just mentioned is a key to this hockey game. And we are tied 1-1. We have the makings of another fun and perhaps high-scoring hockey game.
Yeah, it was hard to see from up here, but actually I didn't see it cross the line, and I think it did cross the line, but obviously it did because they counted the goal, but it just crossed the line, and Dream almost had it with his glove.
Jeff Bonazzo couldn't quite get back on side, and so that one gets whistled, and the faceoff will come out to neutral ice. If you are just tuning in and you haven't had a chance to watch SHL games before, and you missed some exciting hockey, but you've also missed a season in which you've seen these two teams, Lexicon Lumberjacks and SIAM Mandalay, both I would say, reinvent themselves as the years progressed. We talked about Lexicon Lumberjacks and what they've done to kind of get back on track after that mid-season swoon. We'll talk about SIAM Mandalay in just a moment. First, Mike Friesen very nearly had himself an open look, but puck sort of skipped over his stick on the pass from Andrew Ross. Now taken back by Lexicon Lumberjacks. SIAM Mandalay they needed some offensive spark, right? They were having trouble scoring goals. What they did was that puck is loose under Dream. We get a whistle, and I think that's going to be another goal, and I think Kinborn's going to get credit for that one too.
Wow.
Not 100% sure who was the last person to get a stick on that one, but that's a dirty goal. Just jamming it home to give Lexicon Lumberjacks a 2-1 lead, and now I'm not sure whether the goal came off or whether Dream got hurt, but he's still down on a knee.
He's getting up slowly, that's for sure. And
guys were jamming at it. You know, you talked to Greg. You are prophetic in this one. You talked about the importance of creating some traffic. Oh, that was a what would you call that? A fourth line kind of goal. That was a just cleaning up a mess in front of the net. Everybody kind of throwing sticks in. We didn't see. It's the second straight goal we didn't see cross the line from up here. It just got poked right across that line to get the point and the buzzer.
Yeah, and it was interesting to see the two referees have a little huddle behind the net.
It's been waved off. So they're saying maybe goaltender interference. I guess he was already covering, somebody jammed their stick in. The score still 1-1, take that one off the board. I'm not sure if it was actually posted. That may have been momentarily, but either way, officials huddled and they decided to wash that one out.
Well, we'll have to keep an eye on Dream's knee because it looks like he's nursing it a little bit.
Igor Sikora on the lineup card is the other goalkeeper for SIAM Mandalay. I'm not sure if he's actually here.
His equipment is here, but he is not.
Just more things to keep an eye out for today. That puck crossed the line. That should have been offside. It doesn't matter. It was taken back by Lexicon Lumberjacks and Dennis Omelka, who battled for it. 4 minutes remaining here in a fast-moving opening first period. Oh, that was from the Department of Redundancy Department. Fast-moving opening period. Lexicon with the puck. There's Omelka. Always a threat when he has it from the defensive position. He, that time, gave it to Dunk, whose shot got a nice deflection but went wide, and SIAM Mandalay will counterpunch. Mike Poirier, a little floater that Kleinashe elects to keep moving. Gloves it down, plays it around, and Omelka will send an entry pass just, and I mean just past the stick of, well, I'll be honest, I don't know who that was. I thought that was 88, but 88's not here today. Just bear with us. We're still figuring out who's in the line. It might have been Mark Vatsis. It could have been 89. There's a whole lot of guys, 7 players in fact, who are playing as substitutions for Lexicon Lumberjacks today, which is great if you want to watch a wild card kind of game. It's also great if you want to watch the announcers get tongue-tied and trip over themselves.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how these guys juggle the lines in, as we move on to the second and third period.
Kim Arola, who enters this game tied for second. So let me rephrase that. Entered today. Score sheets have all changed after the first game, but entered today tied for second in the league in goals. Was looking for a quick shot to create for himself off the draw. Couldn't get it, and now SIAM Mandalay, Jeff Bonazzo just kind of jammed his stick. He couldn't get a clean shot on that centering pass, and so back and forth we go. Kinborn springs Arola, but Stasny in the passing lane to interfere with it and get possession back as Bonazzo retreating from end to end, and now he'll fire one to Stasny. A little touch pass for Friesen. Friesen fires, and that one just missed high. He got a ton on that blast. Did Mike Friesen, the SIAM Mandalay captain.
Yeah, he's the other threat out there. Of course, we mentioned Thomas Stasny earlier, but Mike Friesen is the other big threat out there for SIAM Mandalay.
Poked away from Shakhnovsky and taken back by Friesen. In by himself, it was 1-on-3 before his teammates came. He fires a nice pass to Bonazzo, whose shot is jammed wide. Is there, did something happen? Okay, I've missed 2 straight weeks. One of the weeks there were games. Second week we had a bye week here. But it's been more than 2 weeks since I've been here calling hockey games. Did something happen? Was there a league directive that nobody's allowed? There's like a shot clock inside the blue lines that like you must enter the offensive zone in 1 second. We are seeing so much end-to-end, I mean, not just end-to-end action, but guys aren't even attempting neutral zone play. Just clearing pass. I mean, breakaway. We saw 3-on-1s, 2-on-0s. I mean, the first game, and this one, more of the same. Here 16 minutes into the first period.
Yeah, you're right. You mentioned 77 shots in the first game tonight, and that's, I think, the highest shot tally, combined shot tally we've ever had in the SHL.
Let me remind our network affiliates that in 50 seconds when this period is done, it's going to be your local break. It is Ross collecting for SIAM Mandalay. They scored first on a Stasny rocket. Lexicon Lumberjacks tied it up from Kinborn. That's where we stand on the scoreboard. Shots 11-6 favoring Lexicon. Under half a minute remaining in the opening period before we'll switch sides. And now Lexicon looking for one more chance. This is Mark Vatsis. Passed one towards the middle, and it was deflected wide. We're down to about 10 seconds left here in the first period, and the puck's still tied up in the corner. That'll run the last few seconds here off the clock. I mean, in a game like this, on a day like this, you never know. There might have been 2 more goals left You can't count your chickens before they hatch today when it's just goal, goal, goal. But with that being said, that's the end of the first period. 1-1 our score. This is Thailand's biggest night for hockey. Hockey Night.
This is breaking news from ThailandTV.news. Now all the Thailand news is in one place. The latest reports from around the clock and around the world. Breaking Thailand news from all the world's top news sources, translated into 11 languages and updated 24 hours a day. Here's Ali with more.
ThailandTV.news has it all. The latest news, weather, and sports updates, plus up-to-the-minute events listings and fun things to do in Thailand. And that's not all. There's also entertainment, lifestyle, and travel news, including the latest visa information. If it's happening in Thailand, you'll find it here at ThailandTV.news.
It's all here at ThailandTV.news. All the latest news, weather, sports, they even cover ice hockey. It's all done at ThailandTV.news. Yes, it's all the Thailand news, all in one place.
I don't really mind, Keith, in the first game of the doubleheader. But for the second game, is there any way that you can talk to the league? I mean, we can't talk to John Shakhnovsky right now. He's playing. He's on the ice. You see him wearing number 18, the commissioner, in blue. But can we try and get longer breaks in this? It's hard for me to eat a complete donut in our between period breaks in the second game. We get the Tim Hortons delivery after one.
You're going to have to talk to your announcer shop steward about
Tom
that.
Stasny by himself breaking in. Nice defensive play from Yin, staying with him stride for stride. Tom Stasny is certainly no slouch as a skater. We have a whistle, and they may call,
I think, a penalty.
Yin for getting a stick between the skates of Stasny. It's a hook, and it is going to be Yin skating off. So it was a nice defensive play, but I guess that's why. They say that he hooked him, and that's going to give the game's first power play to SIAM Mandalay. And all the credit on that one to Tom Stasny. His speed and effort created that penalty. And honestly, if it wasn't for Yin's interference, he might have saved a goal there, so give him credit anyway. Did the best he could, given the circumstances, to slow down one of the league's best players.
Yep, when Thomas Stasny has a breakaway, he usually scores.
So that gives me a chance to tell you, again, if you are not a normal viewer or listener of SHL games here, power plays, clock runs just as it does with the normal games. Clock runs. Because of that, we have an extra 30 seconds, so the 2-minute minors become 2.5 minutes, but with a running clock.
And actually, there's very few penalties called tonight. I mean, I think there's one, maybe two in the first game.
Two in the first game, and Aware was 1 for 2. They cashed in, I think, about 10 seconds in on their second power play. Both of those, I think, from memory, were in the third period, but it's hard to say. That game, everything kind of blends together. That was a lot of stuff happened in a short time in that game. Either way, we get to see the SIAM Mandalay power play unit on the ice, and if there's one thing that is a strength of this team, this SIAM Mandalay team, it's that top line. It's these offensive weapons that you see out there together. Stasny, obviously, Bonazzo, Friesen. Yep. They're joined right now by Simpson and by Mutang Sakul, who's wearing 12. Yep. Simpson at 78 in white. So that's the 5 on the ice for SIAM Mandalay, and a clear from Lexicon Lumberjacks. Already 90 seconds gone by, 60 left. Dream made a nice decision there to slow that down. I think he really wanted to clear that one deep, get that power play offense started, but there was pressure coming. Moo comes in and just backhands one into the breadbasket of Plynashe, who will get the whistle. That runs a little more clock, down to half a minute left in the power play as SIAM Mandalay, actually both teams now, will change lines.
I know it's a power play, but Mike Friesen was standing in front of the net for about 30 seconds there, and nobody was checking him.
Andrew Sia, number 8 in white, has it stripped, and now Mark Vatsis will chase after it and try and create an opportunity. He'll just slap one towards the goal. Actually got it on net from a sharp angle, but that will all but run the clock out on the game's first power play. With 3, with 2, we see the penalty box door open. and Yin comes out. Now 5 aside. 1-1 our score. We are 3.5 minutes into the second period, and that will be not an icing, as racing after it was Yin to get there. Both teams changed up just at the end of the power play, so fresh lines on the ice for both sides. 11 shots on net for Lexicon Lumberjacks, 9 for SIAM Mandalay, and 1 officially on the power play. That's it. Here's Ross. He's got Sina Gulia and CJ Gamble with him. Turns around, throws a pass behind his back, but that'll lead to a breakaway potentially for Arola. Here's Peem. His shot goes wide. Peem, Jarat, Woody Prida, Kim Arola. Those are 2 of the only everyday regulars for Lexicon Lumberjacks. Now we have another whistle, and this might be
a penalty.
This is another hook, and let's see who's skating off. I think this is going to give Lexicon Lumberjacks a power play. It's Sean Berg, number 12 in white today, who will skate off. And just after killing the penalty defensively, Lexicon Lumberjacks will try their hand at piecing together a patchwork power play unit to try and cash in and take the lead. If you missed the first period, Lexicon Lumberjacks actually had the lead at 2-1 for a matter of seconds before the goal was. The officials got together at the scorer's table and decided to wave it off for goaltender interference. And hard to say from up here, but most likely the correct call.
Yep, it was. Yep.
I mean, you're a goalie. What are you going to say? That shot was just under Dream's pads, hit the post, caromed right back to him. That'll give us a face-off.
Yeah, Dream got lucky there. Of course, they say that the goalpost is part of the goalie's equipment, and that helped him out there. And he was able to smother the rebound.
He did actually come down on top of that puck, but it went under his pads, hit the post, and bounced back under his pads where he fell on top of it. SIAM Mandalay not able to clear, but we have another whistle, and this is going to be the power play's done just like that. You see Ken Kinborn skates off without being escorted to the penalty box. He knew exactly what that call was going to be, and shows it. Kind of tosses his head back in frustration, I think, more with himself than with the call. And now we are 4 aside for the next roughly 60 seconds. The clock is still running on the first penalty, but it hasn't started on the second one yet. So it'll be about 60 seconds of 4 apiece, and then we'll get a short SIAM Mandalay power play. You were just saying that the first game we didn't have a lot of calls. Got 3 back-to-back-to-back here.
Yep, and because that was against the Lumberjacks, they've got the face-off back down in their end zone now.
There's a clear.
So about 10 minutes left in the second period here. 10 minutes and 17 seconds.
That one is a pretty nice passing play, but it ends up covered by Kleinische. We get the whistle. So 35 more seconds left in the first penalty, and then we'll get a 90-second power play for SIAM Mandalay. Mike Friesen wins the draw. We are 4-on-4. Friesen almost was able to get a deflection there on the Stasny shot. That's what he was looking for, but couldn't quite get his stick onto it, and now circling off behind the net for Lexicon Lumberjacks is Mancorn. One of those guys who just loves to play hockey. He'll play for any team, any game, sometimes 5 games in a single day.
Yes, he did play, 3 weeks ago. 5 games in one day. There was a hockey tournament and then the 2 SHL games for him.
There's Shaknovsky for Lexicon Lumberjacks, who will bring it in as his team changes. He was 1-on-4. Somehow he stole the puck back himself, still fighting for it behind the net. Commissioner getting dirty. Really nice play on that one to keep possession for Lexicon Lumberjacks, but eventually it's SIAM Mandalay taking it back, and now, first penalty over, it's a Lexicon Lumberjacks short-handed 60 seconds here. SIAM Mandalay's second official power play of the game. There's a shot from Xie that was deflected, almost dangerously so, but it ends up cleared, where Dream will slow it down and spin it around the end boards. 8.5 to play, second period, 1-1 our score. No score here in the second, despite 3 power plays, now 2 for SIAM Mandalay. Tom Stasny, who has his team's only goal today, will keep the puck and start the offensive set. 15 seconds now on the man advantage. It's Friesen who has it, Mike Friesen, as the defense collapses on him, playing that diamond set. Stasny holds it in, but only 5 seconds, now 4. And with that, as Dennis Omelka got a stick down, power play's over. We're back to even strength, but it's still SIAM Mandalay possession. Xie has it, throws one, looking for a one-timer to Sean Berg, who just came out of the penalty box. Nothing doing. Now here's Kim Arola trying to split the defense, and he just drew another call. That's the 4th consecutive penalty that we're going to see called here in this game. The arm still raised. Goalkeeper off the ice. Kleinashay's at the bench. 6-on-5 for Lexicon Lumberjacks. Ken Kinborn has it. Throws one towards the middle. It skips by everybody. Omelka has it. Extended 6-on-5 here. There's Arola. Kim Arola fires and scores! 2-1 Lexicon Lumberjacks. It's been a... Let's say there has not been much flow here to the second period, but finally somebody breaks through, and that's Kim Arola with his 14th goal of the season. Give him his 24th point of the year. And that's with 3 games missed coming into this one as well. The dynamic center just puts his team ahead by a 2-1 margin. Lexicon Lumberjacks score on the man up with the goalie pulled and a delayed penalty call coming. So that means no power play. We continue 5 aside, and now that gives me a chance to, well, we'll get to that in just a second. Let me recap that for you. So I'm just listening to see who got the assist on that one. Can't hear it. It echoes too much. Was it Dennis Omelka?
Yeah.
So that's the combination, Omelka to Arola, that when Lexicon Lumberjacks are clicking this year, it's been that combination all season long. Kinborn fires, and he snuck that one in. How did that one get through? There was about a 4-player screen in front of the net, and Ken Kinborn, 2nd of the game and 9th of the season. And now Lexicon Lumberjacks, just like that, the scoreboard hasn't even updated with a 2nd goal, and they're leading 3-1.
Well, like I said, you got to control the traffic in front of the net. There were about 5 or 6 people in front of the net. It was a screenshot for the goalie. It was not a strong shot, but the goalie couldn't see it. Green couldn't see it.
Hey, what's that old cliche in hockey? Good things happen when you throw the puck at the net, right? You don't score if you don't shoot. And not shooting has never been a problem for Ken Kinborn. 5 minutes remaining in the second period. This game was 1-1 until just a few moments ago. "14 shots, 3 goals Lexicon, 11 shots, 1 goal for SIAM Mandalay." And I think at the end of this period where SIAM Mandalay is really going to feel a little bit of frustration is that they were not able to cash in on 2 power play opportunities. Officially, well, we say frustration, but period's not over yet. You never know what's going to happen. It's been a wild day of hockey and a lot of scoring here today so far. But that's the difference so far. Lexicon Lumberjacks got a power play goal. SIAM Mandalay was 0 for 2. Either way, we have 4 minutes remaining here in the second. That puck is lost behind Shakhnovsky, who's able to find it, corral it, get it to Yin, whose shot was deflected in front, and there's an interception. Tom Stasny's second breakaway opportunity. He's got Friesen in front of him. Friesen stays on side. Stasny, beautiful pass. Friesen cashes in. It's 3-2. Mike Friesen brings SIAM Mandalay back within 1, and what a pass from Tom Stasny. Give that man the donut.
Waiting all game for that, weren't you?
Beautiful play. Thomas Stastny and Mike Friesen.
Not the first time we've called that combination, is it?
And they're still out there with Jeff Bonazzo.
Mike Friesen, who entered play today, tops in the league in point scoring. He's not at this moment, thanks to the performance in Game 1 for KCG and Nick Lampson. But either way, it's the 10th goal of the year, 28th point for Friesen. Tom Stastny gets his 11th assist and his second point of this hockey game. Mark Vatsis will sprint after that one to prevent the breakaway. Instead, he hands it right to Andrew. Sorry, I got turned around on that one as well as I was looking down. A bad turnover that nearly led to an opportunity for Lexicon Lumberjacks, but it ends up being a lot of sound and fury signifying nothing. 3-2, our score remains. Lexicon Lumberjacks with the puck and the lead, but you get the feeling the next goal in this game is really important. That one just didn't quite get all of it for Lexicon. Was Mankorn Sukwabun, who had an open net if he'd been able to really connect on that one-timer, but those are hard to execute. Mankorn's pass was looking to set up the opportunity there from Shakhnovsky. Nice save. Shakhnovsky waiting for a deflection in front as well. He was parked on that left side post, and had that one found him, he had a look at a gaping goal crease, but no harm, no foul, and play continues. End to end we go. How many times have we said that today?
And it has been back and forth and back and forth.
Ken Kinborn now fires, and that one may have grazed a piece of the blocker pads of Dream before skipping wide. The shot totals aren't going to remind you of the first game when we had 77 combined, but the actual pace of play, it's as if the first game never ended.
Yep, back and forth. This game's fun to watch.
Here's CJ Gamble to Sinagulia, tries a one-touch look for Poirier, but it's taken back by Lexicon. Now Kinborn has it. Kinborn looking for Arola. Kinborn fires the pass, but a little bit too late. By that point, Arola was below the goal line, and it comes out to the top where Yeen will tee one up. Didn't get through. Yeen has it again. His shot is gloved and covered, and that will let me quickly on that whistle. Reminder, network affiliates, that as always, at the end of this period, it's going to be your break, your local break. Nobody talk to me when this period's over. We've got about 30 seconds, and I'm determined to finish this donut. It's been like hamster nibbling on this throughout this game. Either way, 30 seconds left in a wildly entertaining hockey game to cap off a wildly entertaining evening of hockey. So glad that you were along with us for all of it. A lot of fun to bring it to you here in game number 101 for SHL coverage on Thailand TV, YouTube, Facebook, all of our network affiliates. We are down to the final 5 seconds of this period. It will simply be tapped out to neutral ice with 2, with 1. There's the buzzer. Here's my donut. Back after this, 3-2, Lexicon Lumberjacks over SIAM Mandalay. This is Thailand's biggest night for hockey. Hockey night in Thailand. ...17 minutes back on the clock, and I don't think my voice could handle any more of this. I think one more period's about all I've got, as man, what a What a day this has been. We saw 13 combined goals, 77 combined shots in the first game. It's 3-2 our score, Lexicon Lumberjacks and SIAM Mandalay. And I got to be honest, I'm secretly rooting for an overtime game and maybe a shootout because I'm a little bit jealous that 2 weeks ago when I missed the last week in action here for SHL, I missed not one, but 2 shootouts that, Greg, you had a chance to call.
Yeah, that was an exciting night of hockey. I mean, both games going into overtime, both going into shootouts. It doesn't get better than that. And here, I mean, it's 3-2, 16 minutes to go in this third period. There could be an overtime period.
Well, we'll see. Again, I don't get those. That's only when I'm not here that we get to see those. I was watching. I mean, that was crazy. When I saw the first one, I'm like, man, this is awesome. When I saw the second one, I thought, come on, really? Again? The week that I'm not here?
If it goes into overtime tonight, we'll get you some Timbits. Because I know that donut's going to be gone by the time we go.
I'll take a throat lozenge. How about that?
I have one of those Timbits waiting for you. Don't worry, we've got you covered.
It's fine. I think 2 donuts is about my limit, especially at 10:30 at night. Anyway, it's Kleineshay getting a glove on that one, just a little deflected pass, and he'll elect to keep it moving. As we begin the third period, the teams obviously switch sides again. This time it is SIAM Mandalay moving right to left. They wear the white trimmed in green and black. Lexicon Lumberjacks are moving from left to right, and you don't need me to tell you their colors, they're the other team. Either way, 3-2, Lexicon with a 1-goal lead and the puck. Dennis Omelka has it. He spots Mark Vatsis, who was in alone, but he didn't get a clean handle on it. And so, no breakaway, he'll just slow it down and start the offense. So far, you wouldn't guess if you didn't know the Lexicon Lumberjacks are missing 7 of their key players in this game. They've put a pretty solid team effort together. Maybe not defensively, but we haven't seen any defense from any team yet today. Vatsis shoots high. This has been a game of, let's say, 1 pass and you're in the offense.
Yeah, it's wide open.
Omelka tees one up. Tries to sneak 5-hole on Dream. He didn't know it went in. I didn't know it went in. He's laughing as he raises his arms as somebody just told him he had a goal, and he'll slide to the ice and celebrate his 7th goal of the year. Denis Omelka, the Slovakian defenseman, just ripped one home 5-hole on Dream, and he fooled everyone.
Including himself.
But it's a 4-2 Lexicon Lumberjacks lead. Nice play from Omelka. He picked the only place Dream was in perfect position. The only place he might have been able to cash that one in was with a hard shot 5-hole. That's exactly what he delivered. And a 2-goal lead for Lexicon Lumberjacks is huge in this game.
Yeah, SIAM Mandalay's got to get the next goal to stay in the game. They're down by 2 right now. They cannot let that slip to a 3-goal spread.
Already 3.5 gone by here in the game's final period. The 6th of 6 periods of hockey we see today. SIAM Mandalay will try and mount a charge here and at least get back within 1. It's been a competitive game since the beginning, but Lexicon Lumberjacks, that's the second time that they've had a 2-goal margin. They led this one 3-1. Now they lead 4-2. They are outshooting SIAM Mandalay 23-14. Shaknovsky has it, and he'll try and put one between the skates of Sean Berg. It ends up behind the goal crease, still in that corner where it's being fought for, and officials saying keep it going. Shaknovsky fumbled it a little bit. Now he'll turn around, look for a centering pass, goes past the stick of Sukwebone and ends up taken away by Gamble, but not for long. Back to Lexicon Lumberjacks. They have a 2-goal lead. Nobody's led in this game by 3. Kinborn calling for the puck. He always wants the puck and he always wants to shoot. Kinborn has it. There's a shot that's gloved. Did not get the deflection he was looking for. And with that, let me quickly tell you to keep an eye out here on Thailand TV for the program program that I've been working on. If you are a regular viewer, you know all about this, but OTR is the name of the program. It stands for On the Road, Off the Rails, On the Record. We haven't quite decided what it stands for yet, but it's one of those things. Find us on YouTube, youtube.com/OTR On the Road. And if you watch our newest video, which just went online, we do stories on Thai, Southeast Asian food, culture, history, eventually perhaps hockey. Most recent one we've just put online. My friend Keith Mueller, our executive producer of Hockey Night in Thailand, was kind enough to join us as a guest director for an episode where he is on screen as the director, and we had a blast. It was great having you with us.
It was even good without me on screen. I mean, you did a great job.
It was a lot of fun, and that one's available. That's the most recent upload we've got there on the site. So please, if you haven't yet, check us out. Subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate all of your support, and it's been a really fun endeavor here. And thanks to Thailand TV for letting us be a part of it. Mike Friesen got that one deflected off his stick, and it ends up behind the crease. You know, look, I might have been a little bit. This game's been end-to-end, back and forth. But when I said that nobody's played any defense today, it feels that way because, my goodness, have we seen a lot of offense. But that was the 16th shot registered on goal for SIAM Mandalay. They've had 2 power plays in this game. With their firepower, Lexicon Lumberjacks deserve a lot of credit. They have played some defense, especially the last 2 periods. Kimarola comes in, 5-hole, sneaks it home, 5-2. Icing on the cake for Kimarola, who might have just put the exclamation mark at the end of the sentence here with 10 minutes to play. Kim Arola, 15th goal of the year, and just sneaks that one 5-hole on Dream.
And not much defense on that play. It was he got out in the open, and of course, if you let a guy like that in the open, he's going to score.
This has been a year when we've seen some pretty special individual performances in this league by some pretty special talents, and Kimarola certainly deserves his spot in that conversation as the league's most exciting players. He's certainly one of them. Barola has it again, fires a beautiful pass and a nice stop. Dream stacks the pads, slides across the goal crease to keep that one out. Barola that time was passing, not shooting, and put it on the tape. But Dream got the save, and now he'll cover. Nice play from Dream.
Yes, it was a nice 2-pad slide, and I think even Ben Kleinische acknowledged that with a little slap of his stick on the ice.
Hey, if Ben Kleinesche's in net, that means that somewhere Lance Parker's probably watching.
And let's give a little shout out to Lance. Lance, how are you? If you are listening.
A big part of a big accomplishment of the 100 broadcasts here of SHL hockey. We talked about a lot in the first game today. If you're watching us live, you can go back and watch the first game archived. You'll see a lot of goals. And that was a really fun game. I'm going to go back and watch that one later just to see how my goal call was. I was trying out some new ones. When you get to 13 goals in a game, you can try out some things maybe you've been dreaming up. 5-2 our score here. A little bit more tame, kind of a slightly lower scoring hockey game.
And the pace seems to be a little bit slower too in this third period. Even though we're seeing some goals, the pace is a bit slower.
Well, I think now with a lead, you see Lexicon Lumberjacks try and play a little bit more conservatively. There's no reason to force the issue offensively when you've got a 3-goal lead. But as I say that, here comes Lexicon Lumberjacks. There's a centering pass attempted by Mancorn. Skitters through the crease harmlessly and comes back out to neutral ice. Still officially only 16 shots registered by SIAM Mandalay in this hockey game. It's hard to believe the way that this game has had so much speed and pace to it. But I'm not sure that's going to count as one either, as that one looked to be headed wide off the stick of Ross. And it's Lexicon back 1-on-2. Mancorn tries to go from right to left and then go back to right. I think it was one too many moves and he couldn't quite get it past Dream. It's Stasny has it. He never, ever, ever gives up. You see Stasny play to the final whistle every game.
Yeah, he's a really good competitor.
Especially now. I mean, you got to think about, like, I mean, obviously he wants to win the hockey game. I mean, he's a Stasny, you know, but also now I think that he has the incentive of wanting to keep the fans here until the last whistle because he's selling donuts and coffee outside.
Yep, the shop just opened up today, and I think he had some great sales there. It was open all day.
It's a beautiful place. I mean that seriously. As a guy who has a long background in opening F&B venues, he's done a really nice job. It's a beautiful place. I can't wait to get here early next week and give it a try. 6 minutes, 25 seconds left. There's an icing call. The face-off will come back the other end. Let's revisit your keys at the beginning of this game. So we are already down to the final few minutes here. Tell me for both sides. We'll start with Lexicon Lumberjacks.
Well, I said the key to the game was, you know, putting people in front of the net, and from a defensive perspective, clearing those people out of the net. And I think that has caused about 3 or 4 goals by, you know, screenshots, rebounds, and I think that, you know, it's a 3-goal difference in the game. And I think that's that key to the game is a key to the game. It's panning out to be true.
I think this was one that you really nailed because that, to me, is the biggest story of this game. Saw some really ugly goals in the first period that come from just getting traffic in front, and we almost saw one more that was wiped off for getting a little bit too, I guess, deep under the pads of Dream. But yeah, Lexicon Lumberjacks really created some problems in front of the goal. And on the other hand, they were able to clear out the space in front of Kleinashe, their own goalkeeper. Kinborn's shot gloved down and covered by Dream. It's a great point. You really got that one right. Was that one that you came up with yourself, or was that the AI?
Oh yes, that was a Greg Beatty one, I have to say. But I did check with the OpenAI Chat GPT about keys to this game. It gave me a list of 7: strong defense, good goaltending, effective offense, special teams, physicality, which doesn't really count in this league because there's not you know, a lot of checking, teamwork, of course that's all about communication, and coaching, which doesn't really apply here because no team has a coach. They have captains, but not coaches.
Well, for Lexicon Lumberjacks today, it's interesting that, I mean, it's a little bit like, look, I don't mean to offend anybody. It's a little bit like astrology, where, you know, you say stuff that's vague enough and everybody can be like, oh, wow, yes, that's exactly right. And this list is like, oh, defense, yes, that's a brilliant point. But that being said, I think if you were to look at this point by point for Lexicon Lumberjacks today, it was apt, right? Because number one, right, talking about coaching, well, their captain, Justin Saint-Denis, he's not here. And yet, a team that's completely jumbled, they're missing 7 guys off their roster, they played a really effective hockey game. Stasny fires. Couldn't get it through the 5-hole of Kleinashe, who kept his position intact on the ice and kept that 5-hole closed, and he's able to get 2 shots. It's hard for a goalkeeper to get 1, much less 2 saves in tight on a wide-open Stasny, but credit to Kleinashe who got that one. And back the other way, there is a goal from Arola. Kim Arola just put home his 16th, and that's the 6th of the day for Lexicon Lumberjacks, and it's all academic from here with 3 minutes and 20 seconds left to play. Kim Arola continues his climb up the league's scoring leaderboard. He entered the day tied for 2nd in goals. He's got 16 now with 2 in this game. Obviously, in the first game today, we saw a lot of movement as Jan Isaacson is now at 18. Nick Lampson got a couple.
Yep, Nick Lampson, yep.
I don't know. I've seen, what, it's 8, 13. We've seen 21 combined goals. You can't expect me to sort that out in my head what this stuff means. That's a lot of offensive hockey in the last couple of hours here. Stasny behind his back to Xia. He'll look for a deflection. Didn't come, and ends up getting blocked in front of the net. Lexicon Lumberjacks, who all of a sudden have exploded for 3 unanswered. It was 3-2 at the end of the second period. Lexicon over SIAM Mandalay. In the last 15 minutes, it's 3-0 for Lexicon. Friesen has it. Goes across to Mu Tang Sakul. Sorry, other 12, Sean Berg. All the replacements, everybody's always wearing 12. It's Omelka coming in. He's got a goal today. Into the middle. Omelka looking for another one. Has that deflected just wide. It just went right through the goal mouth.
Oh, we got a penalty coming up against SIAM Mandalay.
That's a frustration penalty, I think, right there. At least there's certainly frustration after the penalty. Hey, by the way, we've already acknowledged this hardworking crew for the incredible accomplishment of 100 SHL broadcasts, now 101. I want to thank our production crew this evening for all the hard work today, just bringing these two. Executive producer of Hockey Night in Thailand is Keith Mueller. Our camera crew, Jin, Pong, Ellie, Opor, Tanya, and Sonia. That shot was saved. It did get through on goal. There were a few minutes before the game when I thought we were going to be operating with me on camera. We had some traffic in front of the arena, and I think it was a little tense as to whether we would have any cameras at all today. But, hey, look, these beautiful pictures that you've seen.
You're a radio announcer. You'll be fine.
Oh, yeah, I'll be fine. That's the last thing that my voice needs after calling 21 goals in whatever we have 51 minutes. Is that
we
17
pay you by
times
the
3?
we pay you by the goal, right? Is that
Yeah.
how we?
Yeah,
You did well tonight.
I
then.
think I had one Timbit, one miniature donut per goal. 17 times 3 is 51. Yeah, so that's a lot of hockey.
Yeah,
That shot goes wide. That might be the last shot we'll see in this game with
Oh,
the last 10 seconds on the clock as we get ready to wrap up our coverage and give you a couple minutes of post-game recap. John Shaknovsky, who has seen his team come away with a much-needed and really certainly hard-earned win. They overcame a lot of adversity in this one. And Lexicon Lumberjacks will win this one 6-2, and that's our final. So, with the win, Lexicon moves to 9-3-1. SIAM Mandalay 3-9-1. Lexicon Lumberjacks, you know, they were missing 7 guys from the team. They're missing a lot of their top players. They're missing most of their blue line. They gutted this out, and in the end, the third period was their strongest. That's credit to Lexicon.
Yeah, I mean, their key players really started producing in the third period. Certainly Ken on defense and
Kimarola.
Kimarola. Did he get 2 or 3?
He got at least 2 in the third period. That's correct.
I mean, they rely on their big players, and they came through in the end. It was as simple as that. And SIAM Mandalay, they did not play a bad game, but their star players were slightly less productive.
So, what's your takeaway for Lexicon Lumberjacks? They're obviously, you know, right now the class of the league is still KCG.
Yep.
KCG has lost twice, both in overtime, both to Lexicon. Now you see Lexicon missing half their team, still get a big win against a team that's capable and has a lot of offensive stars. We may have still not completely decided how this season's going to unfold. I mean, I think Lexicon Lumberjacks, obviously KCG, that's the class of the league so far, right?
Yep.
But this, to me, was a really impressive performance from Lexicon. You know, that's to overcome that many guys out. Impressive game.
It was, and that's a credit to them. I mean, this is a long season. The SHL is a very long season. Anything can happen. Teams can peak at the right time. Yes, KCG, it's undeniable that they are number one. They're the team to beat. And the other teams are having trouble beating them. But the teams 2, 3, and 4, I mean, that's a scramble. And let's watch what happens as the season unfolds and we get close to the playoff time. That's when it's going to really be fun.
Well, to everybody who's watching us,
Yep,
guys,
we're on the air here.
it's such a pleasure to bring this to you every Sunday. Saw some really high-level hockey tonight. We saw some great plays from great players, and you know, I am completely out of words and things to say after that amount of goals in that amount of time. I look forward to relaxing on the couch and watching these a little bit later. But
Alrighty.
for tonight, I think that's it.
Good.
Keith, great job, as always.
Thank you.
Greg,
Thank you, Greg. Thank you, as
Keith,
always.
thank
My
you.
name is Adam
We will see you
Gottschalk.
guys next week.
Final score tonight, second game was 6-2. Lexicon Lumberjacks gets the win over SIAM Mandalay, and that's it from the Thailand International Ice Hockey Arena. My name is Adam Gottschalk for Greg Beatty and the crew. This has been Thailand's biggest night for hockey, Hockey Night